What's up guys, Hownish here, and today we've got some Destiny 2 new stuff to talk about. So there's been a bit of a secret discovered that turns out to be something of a troll. I'll talk about that in a moment. We've got a returning PvP map coming next week. I also wanted to break down some stuff about exotic quests for next week. We're going to take a look at some more hidden exotic items, some new rewards and materials, as well as a bunch of other stuff, so let's jump straight into it. Before we get into the video, me and my pal Hollowtide are giving away a Confluence of Light emblem. If you want a chance to win that, check it out in the description below. So first up, briefly, if you remember a while ago, some folks on Reddit figured out a puzzle using this key icon in Rasputin on Mars and a bunch of other numbers hidden around the map. And they figured out some coordinates, and of course they found these real-life Valkyries that have been hidden by Vicarious Visions. Of course that is pretty cool in itself, but some guys on the Raid Secrets Reddit actually figured out that there were different texts on each of the Valkyrie relics, and basically when they put them together it created a root cipher. As I often say when I talk about this stuff, I can't claim to understand it, but they figured out the code bit by bit, and it turns out that the finished text that they got actually reads 2 tokens and a blue. So obviously a massive troll there from Vicarious Visions and Bungie. I mean, they did put the whole Valkyrie thing before where people found real life Valkyrie relics and all that kind of stuff, which like I said is really cool, but then the cheek, just throwing it in there, 2 tokens and a blue. We laugh about it now, but a couple of months ago, man, it was no joke.
I promised before that this was the most rewarding public event.
Okay, maybe it was a bit of a joke. Moving on though, next week, of course, the Iron Banner is returning to Destiny 2. Bungie actually put out a tweet. Next week, Iron Banner 6v6 goes live at 10 AM Pacific on May 22nd. But of course, if we look nice and closely at that image right there, we can see that this is actually a reworked version of Bannerfall. So this is down by the tree on the kind of courtyard area of the map. We can see the 3 Guardians with new Iron Banner gear and weapons. We can also see a Red Legion logo in the background right there. There is another image right here as well. Of course, Bannerfall, if you don't know, was a PvP map in Destiny 1, and it was actually set in one of the abandoned towers that kind of form the wall or the ring around the city. Interestingly enough though, on this side we do have these icons which I believe are Concordat icons, so some lore from Destiny 1. It's just curious that these are still here despite the Red Legion flags being here. Also, this one on the wall in the archway has actually been moved since the Destiny 1 version, so I don't know if that's going to be significant to the lore or a hint towards anything. Either way, Bannerfall will become available with the Iron Banner next week, and Bungie also gave us a preview screenshot right here of the different items that we can pick up. So we've got different ornaments unlocked at different ranks as well as the weapons. Another brief mention though, of course, next week we're going to get another part of the Nascent Dawn quest. There will be 2 parts after this, so presumably it's going to take another couple of weeks after that. But just as a brief preparation guide, on Tuesday for Nascent Dawn 3 of 5, you will have to complete escalation waves, Vanguard strikes, find a cache in the Olympus Descent, and then once again upload the memory. Considering that these are time gated for a number of weeks, it's possible that there could also be some other small rewards kind of thrown in along the way. Of course, we got the scout rifle on the second part of the quest, so maybe Bungie will throw us a couple of items in the other steps until we get the scout rifle to keep us kind of interested. Next though, I wanted to talk about this ghost shell. So this is the Iris Pulsator ghost shell, found in the database. Currently, as far as anyone knows, it hasn't actually been dropped, but it is a pretty unique looking ghost shell right there with this kind of holographic sphere around it. The red is really cool as well. It actually has pretty good bonuses, so it's got Vanguard scanner and Crucible scanner, so chance to obtain faction consumables from both of those different activities, which is pretty strong. And you can also generate gunsmith telemetry on any elemental weapon kills. People have been speculating about how you get it. It could possibly be an additional item for things like Nascent Dawn we just spoke about. But another thing to mention is that Kevin Yanis from Bungie did say that there would be some secret rewards hidden behind the glory ranks in Crucible when you actually reset those ranks. And there are a couple of different packages. A Fabled reward for reaching Fabled in Glory, but then also Become Legend contains seasonal rewards for Guardians who have become Legend in the Glory ranks. And I don't know, man, with it being red, also having that Crucible and Vanguard bonus, I just have a feeling it could potentially drop from something like that. If you guys have any thoughts on it, let me know below. There is another item right here which I don't recognize. I don't believe this is dropped in game, but it's called Rasputin's Gift. And we've got an engram with the Rasputin icon on it right here, so potentially this could be a quest reward. Once again, let me know what you guys think below. Next, I wanted to mention that there are some new Eververse bundles in the database, and these are actually linked to a bunch of different things. So we've got the Boons of Bray bundle, containing 3 prototype engrams and 1 gleaming boon of the Vanguard, a Braytech bundle with a legendary jump ship. There is also an Iron emote bundle, so there's a new Iron Banner emote, the Iron ornament bundle, and the Sleepers bundle, which comes with the Sleeper Simulant ornament. So I just thought I'd briefly mention those. They'll probably pop up in the Eververse store over the next few weeks. Now, though, I wanted to talk briefly about the Worldline exotic sword. So there is a catalyst for this sword. When you initially get the weapon, it will just have 3 question marks on it. And to get past this phase, you simply need to kill enemies in PvE with swords. It can be any type of sword, it doesn't have to be the exotic. And then you will actually unlock the objective part, but currently that one also has question marks and nobody has figured out how you actually do it. So I just wondered if any of you guys might have any information about that. We know that you can unlock the first part of the catalyst by getting sword kills, and now it's just a case of figuring out how to actually get the upgrade for the weapon. So it's pretty interesting that they've made it so difficult to actually find. I know a lot of people have been hunting it down, so if you know anything about it, let us know down below. We should mention a couple of bugs that have been noted in the game. So firstly, the Clan XP engram is actually one of the clan engrams which can still award powerful gear. Unfortunately though, right now it is bugged and it is not giving you powerful gear. So basically, if you're getting any of these and you want to get that higher level gear when they actually get fixed, then you need to just hold on to them. You can stack a bunch of these. I believe it's only Clan XP now that give powerful gear, so just bear that in mind. Also, there is an issue with heroic strikes where they're not counting for your milestones, or they're not counting in quests like the sleeper quest. And there are a couple of different issues with this which are still being worked on. So firstly, when you actually boot up the heroic strike playlist, you need to make sure that it says heroic strike playlist in the director right here, and that it doesn't come up with the name of the strike. Basically, if it comes up with the name of the strike, the playlist is bugged and it's not going to count as a heroic strike. So that's the first thing. Make sure that you can see heroic strike in the director when you actually start booting the strike up. Another thing is that if people use boons of the Vanguard or anything like that during the strike, it can actually mess up the completion. It can actually mess up the progress on anything like milestones or quests. So that's another thing to bear in mind. Keep your eye on the people in your fire team and exactly what they're doing. If someone has popped one of those boons, it's going to mess things up. Another thing to mention is that for the upcoming faction rallies, there are actually some new common redeemable items. So presumably these are going to give us XP or reputation towards rank up packages. Or maybe there's even going to be some stuff which is kind of questified for the faction rallies, because it does look like they're making a lot of changes. But my pal Logan on Twitter sent me these images. So we have a building material for the new Monarchy. New Monarchy can use this to rebuild the city. We also have fuel material with the dead orbit icon. And then we've got weaponized material. This material will help in the wars to come. So these are kind of like the equivalent of planetary materials and things like that. Don't know where these are going to come from or exactly what they'll be used for. Presumably it will just be reputation, but I'd like to think that they could do something, you know, a bit more interesting or be part of a more interesting mechanic. We'll have to wait and see. But of course we get the Iron Banner first next week, and then an update on May the 29th. Another thing I should shout out before we finish the video is that Lowly Dev has actually created a pretty useful map of Mars. And this will be especially useful if you're still collecting things like the sleeper nodes. So as you can see right here, it actually has all of the different sleeper node positions, where they are and what they're called. So if you're going after a specific one, this could be pretty useful. But there is also kind of a key for the map, so it'll show you the location of a particular thing in the list if you're looking for it. You've also got all of the locations of the data fragments and their numbers, and then everything else that you would normally see on the Mars map. So for any completionists out there still going after any of the stuff, this map may be pretty useful. I think they've done a really good job of it. I should also mention that the Black Spindle quest, of course, is still kind of underway, the hunt to figure out exactly where the Black Spindle is going to come from. It's just really interesting because so many people are exploring different possibilities at the moment. You know, there is the Strange Terrain Nightfall. It's also the meditation available this week. And so because of the whole kind of hidden mission thing from D1, people are hunting it down, seeing if they can trigger it in any way. Of course, there are lots of different areas hidden away on the Mars map in these different missions. There are also some other things that people notice, like the ability to spawn a third orb in the Nightfall from killing the knights and stuff like that. They could just be fail-safe mechanics in case of a bug, or if, you know, people fail earlier parts of the encounter. And honestly, I really feel like it's going to be one of these two things, either relating to Strange Terrain or the Will of the Thousands. There are no other quest steps that we can see currently classified in the database or anything like that, so I'm thinking it's hidden in an activity. And of course, that would make the most sense for the weapon. Once again, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think about that below. I did also make a video where you can check out the the perks for Black Spindle and the Masterwork version, and I'll link that in the description box below as well. So guys, that is going to summarize the video for now. Lots of stuff to talk about as always. I hope you have found the video useful though. If you have, a like is very much appreciated below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit subscribe to see more Destiny 2 content. Check out my sponsor, New Drinks. They do some really cool products. New Drinks are designed with gamers in mind, but instead of being packed with sugar, caffeine, taurine, all of these kind of things, New Drinks are packed with vitamins, L-theanine, and various extracts to help focus and memory. So if that sounds good to you guys, check it out in the link below. You can use code Houndish and that link in the description to save yourself 10%. For now though guys, I appreciate you watching as always, and I will catch you very soon.